Hello friends, welcome to the Jazz Ranch South. We're in North Carolina visiting our family down here, but I have a special video for you today, and it's kind of an exercise or a test to test your knowledge of intervals and chords, dominant seventh chords with upper extensions, and how to resolve a dominant seventh to its related one if it's a 5 chord. So this is going to be a good experience for you whatever instrument you play. If you go to your piano, work this out. You can play along with it on a saxophone or a trumpet or a guitar. You can work this out at the piano, and I hope it'll improve your knowledge. And so here's the exercise. Here we go. Hello, welcome to the Jazz Ranch studio. I have designed this little exercise, or drill you could call it, or test you might call it, even challenge if you like, to see how well you know your intervals, your dominant seventh chords, and how they resolve, and to be able to play maybe a very little melody or a melody over the 5-1 progression. And we're going to do this in every key. And the way we're going to do it is like this. Now, this is something that is useful. It doesn't matter what instrument you play. It doesn't matter if you play piano. You can just do this at the keyboard and learn it in terms of theory and apply it to your instrument. You know, it's really good, I think. And so the way it works is this. You're going to pick out a note in this octave range, or it could go above, up, it doesn't matter. You know, but I picked out the note C. So that's a good one. Now, I want to just do a quick review of the intervals so that you understand that. Now, if you don't know your intervals, you want to watch one of my videos on intervals that goes into great detail. I'm just going to go through this really quickly. You know that we're going to start with the C and, the major scale. So you have the chromatic scale, this would be the minor second, which is also the flat 9, an octave higher. So flat 9. 2 is going to be the same as a 9 octave higher. Flat 3 is going to be the same as a sharp 9 octave higher. 3 is the third, major third. That is also minor third, major third. Perfect fourth, octave higher is the 11. Okay, augmented fourth, sharp 11, or you could call it a flat 5. Fifth, that's sharp 5 is the same as flat 13, flat 13. 6 is the same as the 13, so sharp 5 is the flat 13, you could call it a flat 6, flat 13. 6 is the 13, flat 7, and then major 7. Okay, so some of those relate to upper extensions, and we're going to be using those. Now, here's the drill. What you do is you take any note, you can pick any note. I picked C here, and now I'm going to pick the bass note as being F. Right? Now I'm going to go right down the scale chromatically, playing every possible dominant seventh chord. Every possible one, resolving to every possible key or resolution, 5-1. So, you start by finding the major third and the flat 7, because that's a dominant seventh chord, and we want that to move to its related one chord. So we want the third, and we want the flat 7 there. So that's the way I'm going to use it. I'm starting with this. Now, here's the hierarchy. Top note is our melody note. Bottom note is our bass note. Then we'll add to that what we need. We need a third, which is going to be a major third. We need a minor seventh, which is a flat 7, to create the dominant seventh chord, which is F7 now. Now, where does F7 resolve? Down a 5th or up a 4th. So it's going to be the B flat scale, because we're resolving to the key of B flat from F7. The 5th step of B flat is F, and that's its dominant seventh. So there. That's it in its simplest form. And you want to start with that for every one of these. You want to start root, third, 7th, and then that C on top is going to change it. But, when we go to E, you see that's going to be a sharp 5. So you're going to be dealing with either, altered dominant 7th chords. They will be altered dominant, or they will be upper extensions that give you color, that color your dominant 7ths, which is what you want to do. You want to dress up that dominant 7th to make it a jazz kind of chord. So here we go now. So here's our first one. Now we're going to start with that. What did I do? Okay, there it is. We're going to start with that, and we're going to dress it up a little bit to make it sound more like a jazz chord. So first thing we do, this is my rule, add ninths. Whenever possible, add a ninth to the dominant 7th chord. So start by adding its ninth, which would be there. How do we know? There's 8. Octave is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Same as 2. So 9. So now we have this sound. It's better, right, than this. Now we have this. It's already starting to sound better. Now we're going to resolve it to B flat, but a different voicing. 6, 9. Now what is that? Root, third, 6, 9. Really pretty resolution. We could make it major 7, but I like the 6, 9, so we'll use that. So here it is. Here it is. Okay, now let's dress it up a little bit more. Let's put the flat 9 in there. After the 9, maybe we'll do this. Let's do this. There's the flat 9. 9, flat 9. Let's do one more thing, keeping it simple. But one more thing, I'm going to make this a sus4 moving to a 3. I'm going to make the 9 moving to a flat 9, so we have this inner harmony. Now that you have that, let's play a melody over it. You could actually start by playing a melody over the simple chord. Right? Now you can do it over these. Or, maybe. Now it's really sounding like a melody. So if you're a sax player, whatever you play, guitar, whatever, play these chords and then play a melody on your instrument. That's the idea. That's the first one. We got to do it for every single one of these now, and we can't change that top note. See, this is the key to the thing. Is you have to keep that top note consistent. Whatever you pick for that top note, you can't change it. You have to keep it right there. So now, when we go to the E, now what do we have? We have to add the same formula, root, third, 7th. Keep that note constant. There is the simplest form of it right there. We can divide it between the two hands like that. Now, it's going to go to A, right? Or I like minor. So I like this sound. You can play a complete musical idea with just those 2 chords. And that beautiful sound of that augmented 5th, which is also the same as a flat 13. Now, what I like to do is put the flat 9 in there, so you'd have this. Where's the flat 9? Well, here's the nut. Here, it's an E chord. There's the 9. That doesn't sound so good, but the flat 9 sounds beautiful. Let's get that. There it is. There you go. So now, next E flat. We're descending chromatically. E flat. So now what is it? It's expanding the other way, right? So it becomes now a 6. It's the 6th or the 13th. We're going to call it the 13th because we're going to put the 7th down here below. We'll put the 3rd down here. We'll double the 3rd, and that C remains constant. So now we have an E flat 13. Where is it resolving? Down to A flat. So flat 9 in there if we want, or we can do this. Now, I should point out that this, eventually, when you practice this enough, it's going to become muscle memory. It's something you will intuitively be able to do. But now you're learning it in its simple form and expanded, you know, by adding things one at a time. It's the way to learn something really well, is to just start simple and then build ideas from there, using these principles that I'm talking about now. So here we go. So we're on the E flat to A flat. So next is D. Now it becomes the dominant 7th. You want to know that interval. Now we can really dress this one up, right? We can put the flat 9 there, and we can do, you know, we can do a sharp 11 here. That's a chord we use a lot. It's like a D7 against an A flat chord, right? Now we're going to move, what is D? I'm sorry, D, D7 against an A flat, yeah. All right. I'm going to G major. How about G minor? Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so next is D flat. Now this is an interesting one because that interval is a major 7th, so we cannot use this dominant 7th move to its 1 on this one. It's just not going to work, you know. Doesn't sound right. If you like it, use it, but what sounds better to me is this. That zobbing down a half step. Or even this. That sounds more useful. Plagal, right? 4-1. Down a 4th. Or minor. Or maybe inverted, like or minor major. And you can go somewhere from there, but okay, so now next is C. So we have the octave. Okay, so now we can, often when you have the melody note and the bass note the same, you can put that 13 in there on the dominant 7. It sounds really good. Add the 9th maybe there. How about that voice? How about this? How about that chord? Now you have a 9th, a sharp 11, and 13. Or there you go. Now on the B, this is interesting because it's the flat 9, right? 8, flat 9. That would be 9, so flat 9. Often works good with the sharp 9, like this. Sharp 9 going to minor. You can invent these just with your ear. Once you get the right voicing, then you can create melodies. Now this is, it takes maybe some doing to get to this point, but eventually you'll get there if you keep doing this. Now, B flat, down a half step now. That's the 9, regular 9. So now with the 13, it sounds beautiful, right? Zombie down 5th to there. Or flat 13, 13, flat 13. Tritone substitute. Okay. Next one, A. Now we have the sharp 9. Now this is an interesting one because we have this dissonance in there. We have the major 3rd and the minor 3rd, or the sharp 9 we would call it. So now we want the root 7th. We got the 3rd in there so we can double it, or we can do something, we don't have to double that, we can make it a 13. Or flat 13 sounds better. That one. D minor there now. Or major, you know, but favorite chord of Bill Evans is that sharp 9. Like that. Fun stuff. Okay, A flat now. Now it's the third. How about that? So we'll put that 13th in there. Basic one, root. Remember, same basic. Get the basic first. Root, 7th, 3rd. 3rd, you already got the 3rd, so that's all you need. So we'll add. You can add the 5th if you want. I wouldn't add the 5th. I'd add the 13th. And maybe flat it there, going to D flat. 6/9. This is really gaining keyboard knowledge. I mean, the more keyboard knowledge you get, the better musician you're going to be. So now, yeah, so we're at A flat. Now the G is going to be the sus. So this is B11, right? 8, 9, 10, 11. Sus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sus wants to resolve to its 3rd. Like that, with a flat 9 maybe, and then resolve it to C. There. Okay, so now the last one is the G flat or the F sharp. What is that? That's the oddball sound again, right up there, right? 11, sharp 11. So it's the sharp 11 on the top, which often the sharp 11 is put in the middle of the chord. So I like it resolving like that, down a half step. Where it's acting as a tritone substitute of C. If it were C, it would be this. To hear it's... See, going to its related 1 is not so great with the sharp 11 on top. Do it. To me, that's not so musical as this is. See, so that's the last one. Now, what you want to do is practice these in their most simple form. Root, 3rd, 7th. Whatever note you pick for the top note, keep it consistent. It's going to be symmetrical throughout. In other words, the same formula no matter what note you pick at the top. You could pick a bottom note and move up, you know. Pick a bottom note and a top note and move up and analyze each interval and create dominant 7th chords and resolve them to the related 1. Try playing a solo on it over your horn or whatever. This is really good. I think it's a unique exercise, and I hope you do too, and you'll write to me. So we'll sign off now. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye. Signing off from the Jazz Ranch South. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this exercise and this test. Now I want to talk a little bit about my book. You know, I wrote a book called Jazz Piano Methods and Songbook for Professional Playing, and I have a special sale going on right now. If you buy the book, you will get the 140-page appendix of exercises and drills for free. That's a $30 value. So please check it out on my website. Also, there's a link below in which you can watch a video on the book and the appendix and see what's inside them. Okay, so until next time, I'll say, in the words of my great friend upstairs, Hermie Dressel, swing loose. And we'll see you next time around. Bye-bye.